southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down.
What's going on, guys? Tristan and Tony with the Zero Duck 30 podcast, back on video and back after a little hiatus.
Yeah.
Little duck killing hiatus.
Yeah. We've been a little busy, having some highs and some lows.
Absolutely.
For sure, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Oh, we do, for sure. And we're having two special guests on tonight. We're having Soflo Outdoors, Billy Assad, who's been on before. Actually, it was maybe about 10 episodes ago when I had COVID. Tony ended up interviewing him. But we're having him on because I did a Florida duck hunt with him. And then obviously we've got to have Kate on to talk about Tony's time in Arkansas. And any of you guys that follow us on social media have seen just the absolute bloodbath that went on up there.
It feels illegal.
It wasn't.
It was not. And, yeah, man, that's the first time that I hit a trifecta. And that is...
What's that? 3 days in a row?
3 days in a row I hit limit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. But we'll dive into it. But we got a lot to talk about. Number one, we don't take enough time to say thank you to every one of y'all that listen to us, follow us, and everything. We just went through some really unbelievable statistics on this podcast that were sent to us by Spotify, and it was a little humbling, to be quite honest with you. So we appreciate you all, and thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's pretty wild. We're 8 months into this now, and I think this is the 36th episode. But yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
What was? We can just give them one little stat. What was that one you said compared to our competition?
It said
or not competition, people in our category.
Yeah, in the sports/outdoor or whatever category, it said that we put out more content than 86% of the creators in that space. And it said there was another cool one that said that our podcast is in the top 15th percentile on Spotify or whatever for shared. And, it could be shared through Instagram, Messenger, Facebook, text message, whatever, So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat to know.
Share it, man. It was so funny. I ended up talking to two different guys from two different states this past weekend that literally this is how it happened. We're in the Thunderbox and we're playing some darts, having some beverages, and stuff like that. And I get talking, dude, hey, what's your name? Hey, my name's so-and-so. We get talking and stuff. He goes, oh, wait a minute. Dude, you guys are the guys at Zero Duck 30. I listened to your podcast. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. Just to meet somebody and have that true connection with somebody,
Yeah.
Because I think it makes it more special for me, for sure, that I can just, I'll remember these people forever because I spent a weekend with them, So very cool stuff.
It is cool. It's just now getting to the point where, we're 3.5 years into this, I guess now, and getting to the point now where we've ran into a few people that are like, oh yeah, I recognize you guys. It is humbling. It's cool to meet people like that.
It is. And then what I like to do is, and if this ever happens to you, you better be ready. If you say you listen to our podcast, I'm gonna test you. I'm like, is this person just feeding me some bull? And I'll just be like, all right, so if you listen to our podcast, what did we say about so? And I did that to one of them, and they was like, boom, it dude nailed me, and I was like,
dang,
all right, believer.
That's awesome. That is really cool.
So let's get diving into some of this stuff. Tristan, kind of take the charge here on this stuff.
Yeah, so, obviously, like we said earlier, we're going to get into some of that stuff with those guys later, but a couple, housekeeping things we wanted to go over. One of the main ones is, I'm sure anybody who follows, on the regular has noticed that our Instagram has been down. We've dealt with this before. I don't know what to say about Instagram and their process or whatever, but for now our Instagram's down. We're on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all the other stuff. Not really too focused on posting anything on there, obviously, and hopefully we get our account back, and if not, I don't know what we're going to do, but we got all these other platforms we're really dedicated to, and just want to get the message out to you guys, that we didn't just,
we didn't do something stupid that caused this. No, we're even sending Instagram, dude, if it has something to do with the post, you guys just approved us for a boosted post on a giveaway.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like one of our last posts.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just stupid, so we're sending them screenshots and everything else. But what really hurts is that, we took over a 10% growth
Yeah.
in just that investment,
Oh, yeah.
and it just sucks. There is another way to look at it, but it's not what you do until you get knocked down,
Right.
as they say, or however that saying goes. But, we just, it's been that, Instagram for us has been one of those where you're like, all right, obviously there's a lot of people out there on Instagram's got a bunch of fake accounts.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not a numbers thing. The true partners that we have, and people in social media, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
They know. It's just like Stevie Bearfield said to us one time. She goes, it's not about the likes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So we just focus on who we are and what we do and just keep doing the same shit we do all the time. And, hey, if it entertains you, great. If it doesn't, then...
Pretty much. And the last thing I'll say on the Instagram front is, the way that, from what I understand, their process works is they don't have enough people on their back end to manage the amount of users they have. So what happens is I could go to whoever and report them a million times until they get taken down, because it automatically just after a certain amount will pull their page, and then they have to go and fight to get their page back. So essentially, that's what has happened to us for no reason. Apparently, we're impersonating somebody, which we're clearly not.
No.
And if they could just look into our account, they can see it's linked to our Facebook. We just spent $100 and something on that ad.
Yeah.
We just did that big giveaway, and we've been around for 4 years. So, that's... I don't know if anybody else has gone through that, but it is extremely frustrating. And, when you're trying to build an organic community, it's just like, dude, come on.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been a shit show to say the least. But anyway, plowing forward.
Yep.
We're excited to be back here on the podcast, and we're going to get Billy Assad on here in a minute with Soflo Outdoors. And by the way, the video of our hunt is going to be out on Tuesday, but we're going to get into more of that soon, and we'll check in with him shortly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, we're back. So, as promised, we got Billy Assad on from Soflo Outdoors / Waterfowlers. But we're excited to talk with Billy. Obviously, he's been on here before, and it was when I had COVID, unfortunately. It was probably about 10 episodes ago. But what's going on, Billy?
Oh, hanging out. Just finished up dinner and talking to some good buddies now.
Heck yeah. So, I guess you had a day off today, huh? Because you were saying you had to work a lot yesterday or something.
Yeah, I worked last night.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, in case you guys didn't tune in before, I mean, Billy, just kind of give everybody kind of a little bit of background about yourself real quick, how you got in sport, give us the 2-minute commercial on Billy Assad.
And Soflo and all that. Yeah.
I am South Florida duck hunter, alligator, you name it. If it walks or crawls, it goes in the frying pan.
Heck yeah. Man, I tell you what, you need to have on your old 2-minute commercial there is badass boat driver.
Yeah, I did hear that part, and I haven't heard the full story yet.
Oh yeah. See, I was trying to get turned around for you, make it so you don't come to my spot,
Yeah. Right.
You didn't put a blindfold on him?
Oh, dude. I can tell you.
Confiscated his phone.
I can tell you, so for you guys that follow us on social media and stuff, that hunt that we posted about, or I posted about in Florida, and if you follow SoFlo, he posted about too. I went on a duck hunt in West Palm Beach essentially with Billy.
But why were you down there?
I was down there for Thanksgiving actually for my wife's family, and I was like, if I'm going down there, I know some good duck hunting down there, and obviously I know Billy's been on the podcast and stuff, and so I just happened to reach out to him and say, hey man, I'm gonna be down there, and this was a couple months ago. I'm gonna be down there, and he's like, well, if you end up coming down here, get on a hunt. So I'm thinking the week of, who knows what people's schedules are or whatever. And we connected the week of, and Billy was just pretty much like, hey, meet me at this boat ramp at 4 a.m. on Friday and we'll go shoot ducks. And, it really was as simple as that. And, we'll get into more of that. But it was pretty cool to, you know, somebody that you just talk with over social media and stuff. Now you're hunting with them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've met a couple real good friends like that. I had a guy come from Canada down here. Now we're real good buddies. He really wants me to go up there for depredation hunts and stuff like that on snow geese, and but that'd be a little bit in the future, hopefully.
Right, for sure. Well, you know, Tony was saying about joking about, you know, your spot, and you were saying about getting me all turned around or whatever. But I remember when we were riding out to the spot before our hunt, I said a couple times to you, like, man, I don't know how the hell people scout this stuff, because, you know, you spend so much time out there, Billy, that you really know the area and stuff, obviously. But for somebody that's just new to it, and they're like, here's a shit ton of acreage, go out there and try to find ducks, man, that's got to be overwhelming.
Oh yeah, it's all time spent out there. I mean, you can fish the area. You know, like, it's pretty much all the Everglades. You can go run out anywhere, go fish, and if you see some ducks, you kind of form a pattern with them. You know, just kind of like deer hunting. You see where they're flying, you see where they're going, and you spend the whole day out there and see when they're coming back and where they're going and everything like that. And you kind of want to intercept them. You want to really look for their flight path and trying to intercept that flight path and have your decoys set up just right, and they'll come in just like how me and Tristan were shooting them.
Yeah,
we were picking them off the water. How good they were coming in.
That was the first thing that Tristan told me. He's like, dude, we were decoying ringnecks. They're landing in our spread. And I'm like, say what?
Yeah. But
it really comes down to where you're hunting, I guess, you know, and like you said, setting up a good spread, you know. But I mean, man, if you guys are doing that, you're doing something right.
Yeah, and the calling, I guess, was on point too.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was funny. We were sitting there. So first of all, to give you guys kind of an idea of like the spread that Billy put out, like it was pretty legit. I mean, you got the mojo flickers and you got the...
As waterfowlers, we experience all kinds of extreme weather conditions. Stay bone dry and warm with Frog Togs hunting gear. You can check them out at frogtogs.com or at Frog Togs Hunt on Instagram.
The motion duck slapping the water, and then obviously the mojos and other stuff. But it was basically a big U that we created. And I was, you know, obviously like ringneck's a diver, and I know they all kind of make a similar kind of, you know, like grunty kind of weird sound. But I hadn't ever heard somebody do a ringneck call, and Billy's like, oh yeah, this is how you do it, you know, and made that sound. And I swear you were turning heads on those ducks, dude.
Yeah, and especially when the sun would start shining on like the flickers and then the mojo, the wings. As soon as it would shine a little light on them, they would look at them, and then I would give them a little call, and then it was just game on at that point.
Yeah, because it did start kind of slow, like the first like 45 minutes or so. I mean, wouldn't you say it was probably a good 45 minutes to an hour till we shot the first duck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty much done at like, when I was in the video today, you were saying it's 7:35, I think it was, or 7:45, and we were almost at 10 ducks.
Wow.
So just about an hour into it.
That's crazy, because it, you know,
it felt like a lot longer.
Yeah, and for it to start so like slow, and you know, we were sitting there, and I remember you kind of being like, "Man, I don't know what is going on with these ducks," because we would see them, you know, kind of at a distance, and you're like, "I think their flight path kind of moved," and we watched ducks all morning long fly this other way, and just for whatever reason, they just started coming to us after a little while.
Well, and Billy, give everybody, try to build a visual of what kind of terrain I mean, we all say marsh or whatever, but give an idea, like some details of that. I mean, what kind of conditions in the area was you guys hunting in?
So out in the Everglades, it's so thick with hydrilla. It's like running your boat through a carpet, like an old shag rug, like a 1960s shag rug. That's how thick it is.
So somebody like Tristan was definitely going, we're getting stuck for sure.
Pretty much. I mean,
And that's why he's got mad respect for you now.
the push pulling into the spot, I would kind of say it's open water.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 3 to 4 feet deep. Perfect for teal and puddle ducks and divers, of course. It's probably, I would say, like the area we were hunting is probably about like maybe an acre of like kind of open water.
Mm-hmm.
And you have different trails, like I would say like veins for like the water trails that like somehow form, because as Tristan saw, there's nothing sticking to the bottom, so everything is floating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have to push an island or two out of our way. We'll push the boat up onto the island, get it out of the trail, then run around and get to the spot. But it's a lot of grass, a lot of vegetation, real low-lying sawgrass. It's not real much cattails, but a lot of sawgrass.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really want to lose a bird out in the sawgrass, so I tell you that.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Man.
You'll look like you're coming out of the battlefield.
No kidding. Like Forrest Gump when he's holding a gun over his head. There must be some kind of way
Way
out.
out of here. Boom, boom.
But no, for people listening to this that hear moving island with their boat, they're like, dude, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, you don't even know.
And I can say that it's the first time I've ever seen this maneuver pulled. So literally these
I've walked out and crawled on these islands.
Yeah, everybody that's hunting in marsh kind of knows what we're talking about.
And you could die like quickly.
I've never seen somebody do what Billy did with his boat. So these islands, like we'd be going and he'd be like, this is like weird. Like this spot that I normally go through, this island is literally clogging up the entire channel that I'd run my boat through. So
Is it affected by tide, Billy?
No.
Okay, all right. So it's just moving.
We've been getting a lot of water down here, and it's probably about like 6 feet higher than normal.
Gotcha. And let me be correct by saying this, but this is really just for me watching probably National Geographic. The Everglades, it's constantly moving in a direction slowly, correctly? Or correctly.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
It's all moving south.
Got it. Okay.
It's just think of a massive river, pretty much the size of Florida, flowing south.
Got it.
It's pretty crazy to think about.
That's what the Everglades is.
So this big patch flowed into that area, and
Yeah, so there's this big freaking island patch, and he's like, "We'll just move this this island." And he literally, Billy, you do this all the time.
Lord
so
Billy moved this island.
you could go into it, but literally just kind of like you said, drove the boat onto it and basically kept hammering down until it made enough room in the channel for us to get
So you kind of barged it out of the way.
pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
What a killer move, dude. I've never even heard of that move.
That's what I was saying.
And you know what? Warren's listening to this right now going, well, if you spend more time down here, I'd show you what else I could do with your boat, Tony.
Yeah, we have a buddy Warren that Tony did a veteran hunt with that he was like, "Oh, I'll show you how to drive that war eagle with the gator tail."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He took on one of those islands. We were hunting, I'm sure you see these areas where whistlers go on these floating islands to roost. And he's just like, we knew we had a bird down over there. And he's like, "Oh, no, we'll just go over there." I go, "What do you mean we'll just go over there?" He goes, "Yeah, just watch this." Just cutting carpet, dude. I mean, and I was like, get out of here. But anyway, didn't mean to cut it off, but that's just crazy. You just pushed it out of the way.
Yep.
So what else, Billy? Like, what else about this environment?
Uh,
Gators, of course.
oh yeah, gators. Definitely took one of our ducks.
Mm-hmm.
We had to throw some pepper his way, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
just to get him out because he was definitely starting to pick off our ducks. So we had to throw a little pepper across the bow
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to get him out.
Did a fly
But yeah. So, but man, it's real annoying with the alligators down here. Like it was really really bad about 6 years ago. Whenever you would shoot, you probably have like 4 or 5 gators in your decoys, waiting for birds to fall out of the sky because they know as soon as they hear that sound, it's a dinner bell.
Makes sense. I mean, you see them on TV where they get on the underneath those like heron nests. They're up in the tree and stuff because they know the babies are going to fall out. You know, same kind of scenario, I guess.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, when we were, it's not uncommon to see them in Florida, but we were sitting there the whole time, like watching them, like because they would be around our birds, and we were like watching them the whole time, like don't move, like make sure they're not moving. Yeah.
All the northern boys just they can't even connect to this at all. I mean, they just can't. We've told some of our friends, and they're like, "What do you mean you're out there with gators, bro?"
What do your Canada buddies think about that, Billy?
Oh, I brought him on the. I let him use my alligator tag and to Phil. Man, it was a smile from ear to ear when we hooked up to an alligator.
For sure.
Heck yeah, man.
For sure, man. Like when you don't experience that, like even for me, I've only got one, and it was me, Tristan, and Mario and Drew. And it was only a 7 foot, 7.5 or whatever. But
Still
to me,
respectable gator.
Yeah, when we pulled that thing out, that was my first experience ever touching a dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, this thing's a dinosaur. Look at this. It's not even. I mean, they get twice as big as this, potentially. So, anyway, so that's the kind of environment you guys were hunting in. Let's talk about. You were talking about the spread now. Are you a wind spread guy or a non-wind spread guy? I mean, like when it came to that day, did the wind play into it? Because I know from hunting down in Florida, I mean, we just don't get a lot of wind unless there's a front or something coming through.
Well, see, the thing is down here where I'm at, we have a constant coastal breeze. And then especially when we get a front coming through, it'll be easy 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Wow.
I mean, we're not landlocked because literally we're 10 minutes down from the beach. So we have that constant coastal breeze, but the day me and Tristan went out, absolutely dead calm, which made it nice picking up decoys because we weren't getting blown around by the wind.
Right.
And the blind I have on my boat just catches wind, and man, it's a pain in the butt.
Man, the crazy thing about when we were hunting is, we were seeing teal for sure all morning and maybe some mottled or whatever else, but for sure ringnecks. And, when those ringnecks turned on, I had never seen ringnecks decoy consistently like that. And the one thing, there was several different instances where it was really cool that they decoyed, but the one that I thought was really freaking cool is there was this group of maybe 15 to 20 that was flying, and Billy started hitting that little call and stuff, and they pulled, 3 of them just pulled off. Like the whole group kept going, 3 of them just hit the brakes and sunk right into the decoys.
Wow.
And where we're sitting there like waiting for the other 15 to come, and we're like, dude, this is going to be an absolute massacre. And the 3 they didn't end up coming, and the 3 ended up getting up, and I think we shot 1 or whatever because it was over to my side. But it was just so cool we were just sitting there talking to see ringnecks do that all morning. It was awesome.
Well, you guys are talking about ringnecks. We had a shoot on a ringnecks this weekend up on a rice field, and it was late, and we knew for sure they were teal. In this one particular field, we were not seeing teal. And when they came around, I go, here they come, and they bombed down from about 50 to 80 feet in the sky and lit the decoys up like one pass.
Wow.
Boom. And we said, boom, 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 shot 3 drakes to make a limit. But is that what you guys ever experienced? Were they just, or was they circling on you?
No, these were all passing ducks. I mean, they weren't 80 feet up. These were like several hundred feet up in the air. And they were probably 100 yards away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And dropping out of the sky like that on you guys?
Yes. I mean, it was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's saying something when you hunt down there all the time, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. For them to break off and just dive right into the spread was like, holy crap, look at this, man.
Yeah.
And then like every other, like, I could have swore they were models.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Tristan start, because they were flying low.
Mm-hmm.
They look like a little
This
bit
is
bigger
crazy,
duck.
yeah.
We start hitting the mallard call, and it turned them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a little bit of any noise that somewhat resembles a duck or something that they're used to, and they see the spread, they're going to hook right in.
Yeah.
And if they want to do it, they're going to do it.
No, that was crazy, man, because they were kind of flying across, like, and there's, you know how you'll see, for you southern duck hunters that listen to this, you might see some teal or...
Do you want coffee that doesn't suck? Get the Duck. Dirty Duck coffee is made specifically for the waterfowl enthusiast. Enjoy flavors like Morning Wood, Dark Dynasty, Cinnamon Teal Snickerdoodle, and First Flight to unlock the flavor that you'll enjoy in the blind for years to come. Our friends at Dirty Duck Coffee Company are now offering all Zero Duck 30 followers a 15% discount when you use code ZeroDuck15 on your next order.
Ringnecks buzzing around little islands in the marsh or whatever. And we started calling at him because he's like, dude, those are models. And we're like, heck yeah, so whack, whack, whack. And they literally did a pass around this entire island and hooked back to us. And we were like, until we shot them, like we thought they were models because the way they reacted. It was so crazy.
But they weren't. Little darts, flying darts is what I call them. They look just like teal. When they're flying, they look like
Footballs.
they should be like almost like a midget version of the Batman emblem. I mean, seriously, it just looks a little black, just freaking whack with little pointy wings and stuff, dude. I mean, they just wham. But I just wondered if they did the same thing as we experienced, because here's what is coming to my mind as we're talking about ringnecks tonight, and that is most of my ringneck experience has been on 1 to 2 WMAs in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to experience it different in Arkansas this weekend. And like I told you guys, I mean, they're probably 80 to 100 feet. I don't know. But when they decided to hit it, they hit the brakes, bro, and came bullets. I mean, and this was a group of good, maybe close to 30.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we just knew they were teal because of the way they acted. And then you guys are pretty much saying the same thing. And it's cool for me to kind of learn here a little bit, about how they behave outside of just 1 or 2 WMAs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to think just maybe the lack of pressure out there or something.
They're my top 3 favorite duck to shoot. If you want to go have a fun shoot, it's green wing teal, blue wing teal. Ringnecks has got to be there.
Well, Billy, one thing that we answered on our podcast before, but I'd be interested to see your take on it, is like, what's like the top 3 most common ducks you shoot in Florida? And we said like blue wing, ringneck, and like maybe like a mottled duck or a whistling duck or a wood duck or something. Would you pretty much say that's about right?
Yeah, that's a typical Florida bag.
Yeah.
Model, especially where I'm at, it's model, teal, and a ringer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 100% South Florida bag. But if you go a little bit more west, like in the STAs, it's whistlers and teal. And you really don't see too much ringers out in the STAs. I mean, you do in certain spots, but you're mainly shooting whistlers now because they have just exploded in their population.
Yeah, man. Whistlers, I know it's kind of a controversial thing because of, displacing other types of habitats such as like the mottled or, wood duck or whatever. But, it's kind of a double-edged sword because it's like we have these dumb, delicious, slow-flying ducks to shoot that live in Florida,
Oh, yeah.
And if y'all don't know much about a whistling duck, look them up. There's two different ones. There's a black belly whistling duck. There's a fulvius whistling duck. They, in a quick nutshell, they basically fly in a V, and they're slow flyers. You would almost, when you look at it flying, if you're a northern honker hunter, you're going to be like, dude, what's that miniature duck? Or what's that miniature group of geese flying at me right now?
Mm-hmm.
But they're going and doing their whistle and stuff. And it's a fun shoot.
Geese
it's what
too. When they're flying, like they're very vocal ducks is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they are.
Just like geese, when they're flying like geese will be.
Well, it's just like with geese, like you hear it and you go, where is that sucker at? Dude, you can hear him. And the same thing with the whistler, they could be 300 feet up or 50 feet up. And it seems like sometimes it could be the same sound. You know what I mean? It's crazy how far that sound can carry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they're a fun shoot.
You got a cool video on YouTube, Billy, of you hunting STAs and you guys shooting some fulvius and, kind of going to, when you hunt fulvius, is that just kind of a luck of the draw thing, or is there any sort of like thing you're looking for? Because there's so many people that are trying to come to Florida to get their fulvius duck.
Well, and I think first start and preface this, and I don't mean to interrupt, but it's important to say that this duck's behavior is unlike any other behavior of a duck. Billy, I'll let you speak on it, but I don't know anything about fulvius, but I do know that the whistlers, they feed mostly at night, and when you see them in the morning, they're usually going to the roost, and I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they act. You really want to look for dry land, tall grass, because they like to hide in it. If there's trees around, even better, because they are a tree duck. But if you're set up close, they'll be mixed in with the whistlers also, but they're a smaller duck than a whistler. I would say they're about the size of a wood duck. They stand a little taller. They have a longer neck. But mainly you're looking for tall grass. And whenever you're looking for them, they'll be with like the pintails and everything nice and hidden. Yeah. But the cool thing about them is they like to fly in pretty large numbers as far as what I've seen.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, to know that if they come by, you're gonna have a decent chance.
Yeah. Like on the one hunt I was on when we shot them, they were probably in groups of like 5 or 6s each time we were shooting at them, and every single one of my buddies when we were on that permit, we shot one. We each shot a fulvus.
That's pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think really that Florida, if I'm not mistaken, is really the only place I think you could shoot a fulvus, right? Outside of like Mexico, or can you get those anywhere else?
I think there has been some taken in Texas, but not like Florida.
Tristan, you should flap. You should throw up on the image when we throw this on YouTube.
Yeah,
throw up those two ducks, what they look like.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll help people understand, because it's a mystery. Just like, if you're a real like crazy duck hunter, like all of us are, we were crazy about like when we go up and hunt with Cade and we get a pintail. Tristan and I were absolutely freaking out.
Yeah.
Freaking out. Like it's Christmas morning and I just got the best thing I could ever dream of, right? People from the north, I'm sure they got to have the same feeling towards a duck like that, because that's the only place they can go get them, You know what I mean? So it's a fun shoot. It's a great thing to bring kids to shoot. You know, they're a little bit slower flying duck, but they're also known to be sky blasted.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why you always see him flying super high.
Yeah, exactly. They're catching on to the game a little bit.
Yeah, later in the season, and they're just a mile high, and you're like, oh my god.
I know.
So
Try to lob one at him.
So Billy, where do you go from here? So we're on the split. Season comes back in Florida on when?
Well, hey, real quick,
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead on anything.
talk about you know, off of what Tony said. I think it'd be a good opportunity to talk about the video when you're putting out the video of the hunt we just had.
Oh, me and you?
Yeah.
The hunt we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be dropping that Tuesday.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
I think, are we gonna put this out tomorrow? Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be out. Is tomorrow December? Or is there 31 days in this
No,
month?
we're looking at the first tomorrow, baby.
Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, so this will be out December 1st, or Thursday, December 1st. So Tuesday, whatever day that is for y'all listening, that'll be out. So go subscribe to Soflo Outdoors on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely do.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on.
I greatly appreciate that. And I hit a big milestone. We marked over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is
Boom.
pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man. No, I know, you know, it's a grind, you know, and I talk about this several times, you know, to people that they want to get out there and share their story and be a part of it. I mean, man, I wish you the best, you know, but understand, and you can message us directly or Soflo or anybody that's done this kind of work. To do what we do, it takes a lot of work. I mean, it's more than what you think, and you know, we'll get into some of that later on another episode. But you know, you're going to sacrifice shooting some ducks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you're going to be forking some money out of your pocket to Salty Shots photography.
Well,
Gladly, by the way.
Billy, kind of on that topic, like, how long roughly does it take you to edit from start to finish a duck hunting video? Because I can say for me, depending on what it is, it could be 5 to 15 hours probably.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really add B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
I just go straight into the action pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If my ADD doesn't kick in real bad,
I feel you, brother.
I would take probably about maybe 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
which isn't bad.
No, that's not
But
bad.
if I'm really grinded, and if it was a video like our hunt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to relive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the opening day hunt. Oh my god, it took me like almost a whole freaking week to freaking edit the thing.
Yeah.
You know, like I was crappy shooting. I was like, oh my god, this video. I didn't film an outro. I'm like,
How do you polish a turd, right?
yeah.
We know that feeling, bro.
It's bad.
Well,
If I'm excited about it and interested, it'll take me a couple hours. But
Yeah.
if not, it's anybody's guess.
dude, I totally agree with that. Like, I was just telling my dad the other day, like, we've been so busy and stuff, and he's like, man, you got to get back on your reels and YouTube shorts and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I know, dude. I've just been freaking so damn busy. And, you know, we haven't had like really great fresh content to post for that kind of stuff in a while, just because it
Really just goes back to teal season.
yeah, and duck season's just starting. So, but when you're excited, I was telling him that, like, when I'm excited about something, I'll freaking stay up till
Well, the Teal
midnight.
Heaven video,
in the middle of the night, you know.
bro, I don't know if you even slept while you were editing that video.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that you're like, dude, this was a badass hunt. I cannot wait to get this out.
Yeah.
Like, you will freaking forego some sleep to get that mug done.
For sure.
Oh,
For
but-
sure.
Man, you guys got to bring your boat down here.
Heck
That's
yeah,
what
man.
was gonna tell you, and then we can get on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and we can spend probably the night at the duck camp.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Kind of go into that a little bit, because that was one thing another thing I haven't been able to go into with my dad. Like, kind of go into that duck camp that you guys do.
And bro, I've never been but one duck camp.
What, Cades?
Then in Florida.
Yeah.
It was over at Captain Chris's.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only duck camp I have been to in the state of Florida. So this is intriguing to me.
Yeah. Go into that, Billy.
Well, they're camps out in the Everglades.
They're just out there.
Yeah, they're homes. We call them camps, but
Are
they're
these?
pretty much
Is it like kind of like people that build cabins that kind of open them to other people in Alaska?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, now they used to be like privately owned, but the state kind of took them over.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to demolish them. Then there was a major accident, and then the plane crash out there. So now they use them as safe homes.
Makes sense.
They all have coordinates that are posted. Sorry, all have coordinates that are posted. So if there is an accident, life rescue can come out to the camp,
and you can find shelter.
Yes.
This is incredible. I didn't know this, dude. This is like so cool. All right, let's dive into this stuff.
Yeah, like one of the camps has a helicopter pad. The owner usually comes out on his helicopter and lands there and parties. He's got a jacuzzi and a full bar.
Is this Lake of the Ozarks?
Yeah, kind of.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
I know, right?
I am totally. Our partners at Huntwise are offering an exclusive discount for Zero Duck 30 followers. As an elite member, some of the features you'll immediately gain access to are Huntcast, Windcast, peak kill times, property lines, owner information and phone lookup, 250 map layers, unlimited offline maps, 3D maps, social media, and on top of it all, save up to 50% off some of the top hunting brands in the industry. Download and explore the #1 hunting tool set today and save 20% by using code DUCK30. I'm blown right now. Keep going.
They're pretty much.
I want to hear what else is happening. What else?
Well, they're like all stilt houses. You know, kind of like out in like Louisiana and everything. They're all built on stilts.
Yeah.
So whenever like the water gets a little high, you know, they're not being flooded. But there is, I think, 12 camps out there.
And the state of Florida manages these things?
Well, no. They leave it up to they pretty much leased it out.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So every year or I think it's 10 years, you have to renew your lease or something like that.
I got you.
And so my buddy actually owns one out there.
Nice.
And
yeah.
I'm trying to word it so
I'm trying
not too many people go out there.
Well, I'm trying to visualize this. So let me get this straight, and just from a very stupid person's perspective, okay? I'm out flying through the marsh in the Everglades, right? Boom.
Yeah.
Flip my boat. I get on my phone, and there's these coordinates of a safe place that I can go to.
Yeah.
That's
And
incredible, dude.
You can call rescue, and there's a hotline number for rescue and stuff like that.
That is incredible. That blows my mind. And on the way, you might wrestle a python, or a gator, or a bear, or a puma.
Now, Billy, the first day that I see a python going through your spread to take on one of your ducks, I'm going to be absolutely mind blown.
Dude, I'll jump in. You know me with snakes, Tristan. I'll go right after a freaking python, man. I will. If I ever see a python, mark my word. If I ever see a python duck hunting, I will scratch the duck hunt to get that python.
Well, isn't the thing with pythons, they're a nuisance, right? So you can just shoot them mugs, right?
You get paid for them, depending on their weight and length, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some snakes are worth $200-300.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Screw this duck
It's,
hunt.
Right? Dude, if I was duck
50
hunting, go ahead. Sorry, Billy.
That's all right. It's $50 to 6 foot, and then anything after 6 foot, it's $10 a foot.
Wow.
Bro, if I'm out there duck hunting and I see a couple pythons come through my spread, you're going to hear the gun unloaded, and I'm going right out and catching me some snakes. I'll double hand them, dude. Like that. Because Tristan knows. And here's a funny story real quick about this. Python sort of related. So we're in Florida, and I have a beautiful orange corn snake that comes in the yard. And I've had him before. I had one as a pet. His name was Fred, and I had him, and he was probably about 6 foot long in Illinois. And dude, the most docile snake you'll ever have. And I catch this thing. I go to catch this thing, and as I'm going to catch it, and I'm trying to teach Tristan, I'm like, dude, it's really docile. These snakes are like awesome. And he's like, well, I don't know, whatever, dude. And I go over to reach over to grab it, and it tries to bite me. And I'm like, man, son, bitch, you guys don't ever do that. That's not allowed, you know. And then I grab it, and it's just a funny video. It bites me, and there's blood ripping out of my finger and everything. And here Tristan's like, sure, Dad, sure.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, bud. I'm not going to. You could be the snake wrangler.
Yeah, no, but I seriously, if I saw a python, there's no doubt in my mind I'm going after it. No doubt.
Yeah, the pythons, you usually see them a little bit more south than me.
Yeah.
So.
But there was who's the guy with the long hair that's the snake wrangler down there?
I don't know.
He's on Discovery.
Wear like a safari hat or something.
Yeah, I mean, he does an
Python
episode.
Cowboy?
He does, what's his name?
Python Cowboy?
No, I don't think so. But
Is he a gray-haired guy?
yeah, and he's got long hair that comes down. But here's the point. He does an episode where he's got a call to the Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, they don't usually go this far north. You know what I mean? So he was out there catching them, dude. He caught I don't know. They got stranded on their, what's those big things that you guys drive out there that's got like 4-wheel drive and it sets up 10 feet in the air?
Swamp buggies?
Swamp buggies. He drove out in the middle of the Everglades and it broke down.
Oh.
And they were like, this whole hunt is ruined. On their way walking back, maybe it was to one of these safe houses. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they made like $700 and something
Wow.
catching pythons. Yeah. So anyway,
Going back to the airboat versus you were talking about we need to come down with our boat versus like a surface drive. What is there really any benefit between those two? Or are they just kind of good in their own way as far as those two?
They definitely have their pros and cons, both of them. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So if the water's real dry, if the swamp's real dry, you're not going to take out a mud motor out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have more access to different areas with the airboat because you can literally you're pretty much hydroplaning. It's a little sticky with mud, but you can get up on top of grass and you're just gone.
So what I'm hearing is if you had one of these in Arkansas, you could probably go pretty far.
do you imagine jumping all the freaking dikes and stuff in the airboat? Woo!
Yeah, that's if you have a good boat with a good bottom like poly or super slick on the bottom like Gator Glide. I don't know if you have that on the bottom of your boat, but man, you can run a hill that's almost like 90 degrees vertical, just right up over the levee.
That's hilarious.
That's wild, man.
But the thing of it is, it's hard to hide.
Because I'm a big fan.
Yes, because you have a big cage. You have, depending on your setup, usually like a 2-seater or a 3-seater. You have a high rigging, so you're sitting up high.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really hunt off of it, so you're pretty much waiting.
Mm-hmm.
But on a mud motor, you have the luxury and the nice seats. You're laying down, you can cook and all this other stuff on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But it's just like everything has its pros and cons.
What now? You've got an airboat now. What's the other setup you're on? What's your mud motor setup?
I don't have a mud motor.
Okay.
So this is
I
real
wish
quick.
I did.
This is real quick. One of the things that made me be like, "Damn, this dude knows this water." Because I was like, I've never seen somebody run an outboard in Florida in the type of environment we were in.
Yep.
And I'm not, obviously, you're not questioning the captain. The captain knows what the hell he's doing.
Well, you gave mad respect when we opened up this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I was just blown away. I was like, that you knew these waterways so well, Billy, that you're like 100% confident running this freaking outboard just from what our experiences in Florida duck hunting, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, hitting the bottom with the prop isn't always good.
Well, I mean, isn't it just like a different side of what the guys do up in the Midwest and in Arkansas with their outboards? I mean, they're able to take them some pretty crazy places with the right setup.
Yeah, and
yeah.
they definitely are,
yeah.
but they don't have to go through that freaking shag rug.
No, they don't have no shag rug. No, they just got logs.
See,
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Like, so the opening weekend, my buddy was supposed to come out with me. He canceled. There was a guy at the boat ramp launching his boat. He had a 12-foot little John boat with like a 15 horse on it or something.
Mhm.
And with a boat like that, you're not getting far out there.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
You're just not. I mean, you could barely make it over the flats,
Right.
what I call the flats area. You know, it's a bunch of eelgrass, and you could barely make it across into the interior.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, hey, man, put that thing on the trailer. Come with me. Let's go out duck hunting. And he goes, you serious? I'm like, yeah, man, come on, let's go. Put that thing on the trailer. My buddy bailed on me. Let's go out. I'll get you on some ducks. So I take him out there. He's like, dude, how do you not use GPS? I'm like, I've been coming out here forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is, I come out during early teal just to go fishing, like even after early teal, before early teal. So I know my trails are open. Because all the skag marks, they're going to be pulling up all the eelgrass, the what we call is Loxahatchee stick grass. It's real nasty stuff. It looks like almost St. Augustine grass on top of the water.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then just mats of
Crabgrass.
hydrilla. You know, so I go and run all through my spots. I mean, I have like 1,000 different spots, so I know if the one spot isn't doing good, I'm going to go another spot. But I know the trails are going to be open.
Yeah.
Doesn't it remind you of how we deer hunt in Illinois? And very relatable.
Yeah, it is. It's just, you know, we've been blown away even before we, you know, I went on this hunt with you, Billy, like, you know, some of the guys in like Arkansas, for example, that, you know, there's no secrets on public land out there for sure. You know, all these guys know these holes and different ways to kind of, because, you know, the way they set it up out there is where, in a lot of ways, it does turn into a boat race, even though they shuttle you out one at a time, because people know little shortcuts to get to holes quicker and all this stuff. And these guys know these runs like the back of their hand. And, you know, that's kind of what
tree by tree.
That's how we relate to our deer hunting, because we've always been big deer hunters up in Illinois. We just know the property that, you know, that good. But that's the same way you know that property you hunt, Billy.
Well, like if there's hunters over here, I know if I go over here, it's going to push the deer this way.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, I'm sure you know the land that down there that well to know, hey, if there's a lot of hunters down here, what the birds are going to do traditionally, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. I hunt like pretty much where no one goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks because the area that I usually hunt is so massive. The birds could be anywhere at any particular day, but most of the time they like this certain area that I usually go to.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's nobody there, they're not pushing birds. And
Right.
That's the problem. You know, people get stuck and they don't shoot no birds. And they're like, oh, this place freaking sucks. I'm never coming back here. And then opening day, we'll have 50 people out there. I mean, that's not a lot compared to the size. I mean, it's 180,000 acres for
That's
50 people.
Yeah.
That's nothing. And then by the end of the season, it's usually only me and my buddy going out there.
Dude, yeah, it blows my mind because we were talking about, me and Billy were like, Billy has got these spots that are traditionally pretty good, and we were like, man, how many freaking badass hunting spots are out there that no one will probably ever know about?
Well, and here's what's incredible about the Everglades alone. Mm-hmm. When you talk about major ecosystems in the world, mm-hmm. everybody knows where the Everglades is.
Yeah.
You have the Sahara. You got the Kalahari. You got the whatever it is. When you watch it on Discovery Channel, the Amazon, the Congo, all these different areas. This is a big, big, big area. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that brings up a whole nother subject about Florida, is just that Florida has so much water, mm-hmm. And Tristan and I, numerous times, and I know every duck hunter in Florida can attest to this. Your aquatic life, your what do they call them? The low moisture plants, or what's the word?
Moist soil.
Moist soil plants.
Yeah.
You know what they are. I mean, dude, I've sat there and done like severe research with the with the University of Florida, their biological department. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got that whole PDF I have built mm-hmm. of like everything a duck they found in the bellies of ducks. Mm-hmm. And I took a picture of it all. I built this whole like 3-page PDF of all the pictures. We have been to so many places where, my God, it is duck food heaven. Mm-hmm. And for years, never saw a duck.
Yeah.
Not a duck. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it just comes down to where they want to be. And I think a lot of it has to do on imprinting, of course. But it's just, you're like, maybe this year they're going to find this gem and we're going to smoke their ass. But you gotta throw out a
little corn or something.
Man, I've made this take before on the podcast, but I would say that pound for pound, Florida duck hunters are as hardy and as driven and competitive as Arkansas duck hunting.
Absolutely.
And I won't, obviously maybe certain areas are different with numbers of people in Florida, same with Arkansas or whatever. But when you talk about the effort that has to be put in to get to some of these birds, I would say that the effort in a lot of instances is a lot more than what you would do to shoot mallards on public land in Arkansas. Well, that's just my opinion.
Well, let's just take this. Let's build this analogy real quick. Mm-hmm. All right. See where my mic is? Mm-hmm. This is the center. Mm-hmm. Kind of look at the center of pH, right? Alkalinity and acidity. Mm-hmm. But here's what we got. On this side, on the severe end, you got Florida.
Yeah.
On this side of the severe end, you got the Arkansas timber in January.
Yeah.
Dude, it takes just as much as a tough son of a bitch to go out there and hunt that in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Say, we've been there, man. I mean, 34-degree water for 4 hours. I mean, it's going to kick your butt. Then you take Florida, 85, swamp, mosquitoes, gators,
screwed up,
dude, and drive
stuck,
using your boat as a barge to push the islands out of the way.
Tidal conditions,
spots. I mean, it's really on. They're both a different. It's the most. What's the word I'm looking for? It's the most
polar opposite
endurance based hunting.
Yeah,
for ducks.
One extreme to the other.
It is.
And the thing is like Arkansas, for example, the public timber, the numbers of ducks are there. It's just a matter of, the pressure and all these things. So, you're going to these certain WMAs with the timber where these ducks are going to, and you take a area like what we're talking about with Billy, that is there's so much water in Florida. in Arkansas, at least these ducks are going to be concentrated in certain areas. Like they're coming off the so-and-so.
There's only so much water.
Yeah, so-and-so river, the so-and-so refuge, and they're going to this timber to, whatever, feed, get refuge, whatever they're doing. Florida is so vast.
Yeah.
So it's just, they're so challenging in their own different ways. You know?
They are. You are. And so here's what I would say is that you think you're the toughest duck hunter ever, and all you do is go to Arkansas timber, smoke mallards. Susie, you're missing it. I think you need to get up off your butt if you want to be tested as a man or woman. I know some badass women, including my mom. Get off your butt and come experience it down here in Florida. And if you know what, give us a call. We'll go out there and do it with you.
I'll tell you one thing that's probably going to get a lot of the Midwest boys out of this conversation is alligators.
Yeah. I've heard. Well, how many times have we told people stories up there in the Midwest, and they're like, "Yeah, f that."
Yeah, it's funny. Like you say that. Like my Canadian buddy that came down here, he was for the first time. I took him out duck hunting. He's like, "Hey man, you're not worried about gators?" I was like, "It's very late in the season. It's late July. It's about like 38 degrees out right now.
Yeah.
We had a real good cold front that year he came down. I'm like, you're not going to see him out here right now.
Yeah,
They're looking for high and dry. You can run your dog when it's that cold out. But when I took him out for the gator hunting, he was like a little iffy about when I was pulling the gator close, and I'm like, man, don't worry, they're not gonna do nothing. He's pretty much tired out now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, I would be more scared of bears up by you because he's a big bear hunter up there.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm like, I'll be more scared of bears. He's like, oh man, they're nothing. They're just like big dogs. So I'm like, oh, okay,
dude.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the thing is I was thinking about it because we have a really good bear population up here in North Georgia, to the point that there's a hunting season for them like full time. It's not a quota.
Remember the video where we're out duck scouting?
Yeah, but this up here in North Georgia, like there's no quota for anything like they've done in Florida in the past. It's if you see one during certain times of year, you can shoot one basically.
Yep.
And all of our trail cameras at the certain WMA, every single time we checked them, there's bears every single time. Now I think they're probably smart enough that where they smell you or whatever, because we've never seen them hunting. But that got me thinking and doing some research. Like, how often do people have encounters with bears that turns out to be like a scary situation? Because I'm like, damn, I'm about to start bringing my Glock up in these woods. But I read that actually there's more shark attacks, and there's only like one shark attack per year that's fatal in the United States, like maybe. And there's less bear attacks that are fatal. Black bear, not grizzly, black bear attacks that are fatal. Yeah. So,
yeah, he's shooting grizzlies up there.
Well, you know what?
Now that's a different story.
Now, one thing that's always made me laugh, and I apologize. I say this in advance, and don't take this the wrong way, anybody. So forgive me, son. You may have to edit this out. But if you go to Kodiak Island and you get your ass eaten by a bear, you deserve to get your ass eaten by a bear. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm going to say about it.
So if we get killed by an alligator, we deserved it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, we were tipping we were tipping the scale there of being dangerous.
Yep.
For sure, man. But man, Billy, dude, I can't. So we never got to my question.
Yeah.
And that was, what are you going to do the rest of the season? I want to know what it looks like for you. Like, what do you got? What are you focused on, and what are you excited about doing the second split?
So I pulled a couple STA hunts.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple STA hunts lined up. Opening day for the second split, Sunday of the second split, I have STA hunt. So that should be a good hunt. I'm probably going to go up to the Panhandle.
Oh, nice.
When my buddy sends me a report of how the ducks are.
Now, is that a diver shooter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he gets into the redheads by the thousands.
That's beautiful.
And he up there, he calls them sky rats.
I saw the videos on Billy's phone. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, the one guy's like, if it's something other than a redhead, I'll shoot at it.
Wow. Ain't that something?
Wow.
We're all like, dude, we'd love to have a redhead.
And it's one of the few areas, it's the way I understand it, that you can actually have a true chance at a greater scalp.
Yeah. Yep.
Heck
Yeah, we have graders and lessers up there, buffleheads, canvasbacks, and of course redheads
Heck yeah.
and golden eyes. I mean, I'm sorry, buffleheads. A ton of buffleheads.
Yeah.
I like shooting those little white suckers, dude. And they're not, I don't care. You can say whatever you want about bufflehead, y'all, but that is a pretty bird, man. I mean, the contrast with the white and the purple and the green and
Iridescence on the
iridescence
head,
on the head is just, I mean, they smell beautiful, but but they are a pretty, and they're a fun shoot. If I learned the hard way last year about buffleheads, it was, I am bringing the cheapest box of shells ever
Yeah.
to hunt buffleheads.
They're so durable, man.
Dude.
I think it's all them divers, dude. Just trying to shoot them off the water. Like,
It's impossible.
because, you knock them down and then you're shooting at basically half the target you would have had in the air. And then I don't know if they're just super durable on top of that, but sure, I bet you've experienced that, Billy, where divers are like, you shoot like 3 shells right on them and you're like, how are they still alive?
Bro, I've taken 3 shells on a bufflehead, loaded my gun with 3 more shells on a bufflehead, and that sucker's still out there. And I'm just like, I want to throw my gun in the gun rack and just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, how do I miss it? I don't get
I'm
it.
done.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But it's fun.
It was funny because when pretty much I first started hunting, I took one of my buddies out, and he was using his old man's gun. It was a 36-inch barrel.
What?
What is that?
That's a sniper rifle.
It was pretty much an old Browning, old A5, the actual Belgium A5.
Wow.
And he was using 3.5-inch with a full choke.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
that's a barrel that is 10 inches longer than my barrel.
You better be able to shoot ducks at 100 yards.
Yeah. Well, it was a deer gun.
Did you have to like put this on somebody's shoulder in order to shoot? Like, hey, let me put the barrel on your shoulder and get a clean shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I hit this one bird. It falls probably about like 50 yards out. And the pattern on this gun, it looks like a softball at like 50 yards. So he shoots this wounded ringer one time, pops back up. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Shoots it again, pops back up. Shoots it a third time, pops back up. We're like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then we're like, okay, he's gotta be on his last limb, so we'll pick him up later.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
When we're all said and done, we go to look for him. He dove down and disappeared.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, they're tough little. Dude, they're just, all those divers are tough.
They
dude.
all have Kevlar on them.
For real, man.
I think like the bufflehead is like such a little butterball. It kind of reminds me, like, you know how like wood duck babies fall out of a tree and they just bounce off the ground? I feel like that's what the pellets do on a bufflehead. I feel like they just kind of like bounce off of it.
Yeah.
But what a fun time. Cool, man. So, man, thank you so much for being on here tonight. We really appreciate it. We're definitely going to have you on again. And, you know, if we can get down there and hunt with you, we're definitely going to do it. I mean, like I said at the beginning, you're part of family now. I just got to meet you in person.
Definitely, man. I mean, like I said, you bring down your boat, whatever. You can go on my boat. We'll try to get something organized and maybe get you out on the airboat.
Heck
Something.
Yeah. Heck
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
man.
Or go wrestle a gator.
Oh man.
Well,
All right, Billy.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you for taking the time to come on tonight. And for y'all listening that didn't catch it earlier, Soflo Outdoors on YouTube and social media and all that. And our hunt that we just did last week will be up on Tuesday, right, Billy?
Yep. Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Heck yeah. Well, looking forward to seeing that and sharing it and all that stuff. And thank you again, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
We'll talk
appreciate
soon.
you having me on.
Absolutely, brother.
We'll talk soon, brother.
All right, man.
I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on a midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down.